Stroke survivor moves hand for first time in 9 years.
Dementia risk rises if you live with chronic pain, study says.
Study links heavy drinking to increased risk of dementia.
Regular coffee consumption may help lower blood pressure, study.
Third person cured of HIV after stem cell transplant, study.
Exercising just once a month at any age reduces risk of dementia, study finds.
Study says eating less food may slow down aging.
Woman with the world's biggest lips is now splashing out on her cheekbones.
Drinking Coke and Pepsi leads to larger testicles, more testosterone, study.
Good sleep could add years to your life, new research suggests.
Stroke survivor moves hand for first time in 9 years. With spinal stimulation, a stroke survivor was able to move her hand and arm for the first time in 9 years. After suffering a stroke in 2012, when she was 22 years old, Heather Rendulic was left with left side paralysis. Her spinal cord was stimulated in the neck region by scientists from the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon Universities in the US. Ms. Rendulic, 33, was able to move a soup can and even use a knife and fork to cut steak while being stimulated, after being unable to do so for almost 10 years. Ms. Rendulic, who lives in the US, said, "Stimulation feels kind of like a tickle and it's never painful, but it takes some getting used to, I would say. It's just awesome, because I can move my arm and hands in ways that I haven't done in almost a decade." For patients who live with disabilities that would have been seen as permanent, researchers believe their new device may give hope. The study found that spinal stimulation had no harmful side effects and has benefits that last for up to 4 weeks after the surgery. To activate the undamaged nerve cells, a pair of thin metal electrodes that resemble spaghetti strands are implanted along the neck. More trial participants are wanted to allow researchers to understand which stroke patients can benefit most.
Dementia risk rises if you live with chronic pain, study says. According to a recent study, chronic pain that lasts longer than 3 months, such as arthritis, cancer, or back pain, increases the risk of dementia and cognitive impairment. When compared to persons without pain, the hippocampus, a brain region strongly linked to learning and memory, aged by nearly a year in a 60-year-old with one site of chronic pain. According to estimations in the study, which was published Monday in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, or PNAS, the hippocampus decreased even more when pain was experienced in 2 locations on the body, the equivalent of little over 2 years of age. The study discovered that the danger grew as the body's pain locations multiplied. Those with pain in 5 or more body sites had nearly 4 times less hippocampal volume than those with pain in only 2, which is the equivalent of up to 8 years of aging.
Study links heavy drinking to increased risk of dementia. According to a recent study, light or moderate alcohol consumption may be linked to a lower risk of dementia, whereas binge drinking may raise that risk. Based on the World Health Organization, dementia is an umbrella term for several diseases affecting memory, other cognitive abilities, and behavior that interfere significantly with a person's ability to maintain their activities of daily living. Although the biggest known risk factor for dementia is age, according to the WHO, dementia is not a typical aspect of aging. The study also found that non-drinkers who started to drink at low levels had a 7% reduced risk of dementia compared with those who continued to abstain. An estimated 10 million new instances of dementia are reported each year, according to the International Health Organization, which estimates that over 55 million people worldwide have dementia.
Regular coffee consumption may help lower blood pressure, study. According to a recent study, those who drank 2 or more cups of coffee per day tended to have much lower systolic blood pressure than those who did not. Hypertension, often known as high or elevated blood pressure, is a disorder in which the blood arteries have a consistently raised pressure, according to the World Health Organization. A significant cause of early death globally, hypertension affects up to 1 in 4 men and 1 in 5 women, or more than 1 billion people, according to the Global Health Organization. it can increase the chance of developing heart, brain, kidney, and other ailments. However, according to recent study covered by Medical News Today, drinking coffee regularly is associated with lower blood pressure across a range of parameters. Together with other blood pressure measurements, the study, which was published in MPDI open access journals, discovered a connection between consuming more cups and lower peripheral pulse pressure, PP.
Third person cured of HIV after stem cell transplant study. According to a research released on Monday, the 20th of February 2023, a man known as the Düsseldorf patient has become the third person to be pronounced HIV-free following a stem cell transplant that also treated his leukemia. In the past, the high-risk treatment has been used to successfully treat 2 additional cases of HIV and cancer in patients from Berlin and London. In the journal Nature Medicine, the Düsseldorf patient's recovery process was now made public. The 53-year-old man, whose name has not been made public, received HIV diagnoses in 2008 and 3 years later with acute myeloid leukemia, a form of blood cancer that poses a serious risk of death. Using stem cells from a female donor who had an uncommon mutation in her CCR5 gene, he underwent a bone marrow transplant in 2013. It has been discovered that the mutation prevents HIV from entering cells. In 2018, the Düsseldorf patient stopped receiving HIV antiretroviral medication. Consistent testing 4 years later revealed no sign of HIV returning in his body. According to the report, this third HIV-1 cure case offers valuable insights that will hopefully guide future cure strategies.
Exercising just once a month at any age reduces risk of dementia, study finds. According to a recent study, people of all ages who exercise simply once a month can boost their cognitive abilities and lower their risk of developing dementia. As said by researchers at the University College London, it is never too late to start exercising if you have never done much of it. Although it is well recognized that exercise reduces the incidence of dementia, it is unclear at what age this process should begin. But the most recent research indicates that even starting an exercise program in your 60s is preferable to doing nothing at all for enhancing cognitive performance.
Study says eating less food may slow down aging. A recent study suggested that cutting calories could delay aging. The quantity of energy eaten through food and beverages is known as calorie intake. Based on the World Health Organization, however, aging at the biological level is a result of the accumulation of various molecular and cellular damage, which causes a steady decline in physical and mental ability. According to Medical News Today, the study indicated that, based on some biomarkers, calorie restriction may delay the rate of aging.
Woman with the world's biggest lips is now splashing out on her cheekbones. A woman with the largest lips in the world is now focusing on other aspects of her looks and spending money to have the biggest cheekbones in the world. Andrea Ivanova, 25, has a distinctive appearance. She previously made headlines when she revealed she had spent £8,000 on her full pout. She started her metamorphosis in 2018 and is trying to look like a Bratz doll, so she underwent jaw surgery and had filler put in her chin. She has undergone cheekbone fillers in the hopes of having the largest cheekbones in the world as she turns her attention to her cheeks. The former philosophy student has had over 34 injections in her lips so far, and she will likely get more. She alleges that some clinics refuse to give her further lip fillers because they are too large and additional injections could have negative effects on her health. Her previous doctors had cautioned her to pay attention to any discomfort in her mouth because any upcoming treatments could be fatal. She expressed her opinion by saying, "My lips are still not big enough and I want them much bigger than now." She has already spent almost £1,600 on her cheekbones, and while she likes the way she looks, not everyone does.
Drinking Coke and Pepsi leads to larger testicles, more testosterone study. Coca-Cola and Pepsi consumption has been linked to enlarged testicles and greater testosterone levels, according to a study. The Northwest Minzu University in China was looking into how fizzy drinks affected male sex and reproductive functions. Over the course of 15 days, the study examined 3 groups of mice. One that simply drank water, one that drank various concentrations of Coca-Cola, and doing the same with one that drank Pepsi. Blood was taken from the rodents and their testicles were weighed. They underwent testing on days 1, 5, 7, 10, and 15. It was found right away that mice drinking Coke and pure Pepsi, as opposed to mice consuming Pepsi and water, had a noticeable difference. For instance, mice given pure Coca-Cola had more of the male hormone in their bodies than mice given water. This, however, goes against earlier research that claimed sugary drinks reduced male fertility rather than increased it, as the present study suggested. A prior study of 2,500 males found that those who consumed a liter of Coke daily had 30% fewer sperm than those who did not. Yet, some studies have indicated that caffeine can raise testosterone levels.
Good sleep could add years to your life, new research suggests. In another recent study, consistent, quality sleep could lengthen your life by preventing major illness. According to the study, males who receive good, uninterrupted sleep may live an additional 5 years, while women may live an additional 2 years with decent sleeping habits. Furthermore, young people who sleep well have a lower risk of dying young, according to study. Among other major ailments, getting enough sleep has been shown to help prevent a number of cardiovascular health issues. The results of the study suggest that it is not enough to just obtain enough sleep. Instead, the sleep must be of excellent quality and uninterrupted, according to The Independent.
For your daily global health news, visit www.StayWellWorld.org. Please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment. If you've already subscribed, turn on the notification icon so you don't miss any update. Thank you for watching.